But if you do not know to activate it, your higher self is going to allow you to be stuck in the third dimensional realm, and you're going to manifest what is normal that you think is divine and that you think is occurring naturally because you told your mind that and your mind said okay. So it shuts you off from the fact that your spirit, your sex organs are spiritual and that you're a higher vibration being and that we can manifest things just by thinking them and just by speaking them. That's why things are moving slower a lot of times. When we say something, we want it to happen, it doesn't happen. Because your subconscious mind believes that you're in a third dimensional realm and it takes a certain amount of time or it takes a certain amount of effort or you have to go out and physically do a job or do this or that. What I'm trying to tell you is because we have accepted that lie and because we have died to the higher part of ourselves and realizing we are divine, then your mind has actually locked you into a dense third dimensional realm and you are manifesting slower and your body's starting to slow down and die and our sex is killing us because that knowledge has been hidden and it's time to wake up so that you can merge the sex with the spirit and you can actually move out of the third dimensional realm because you are constantly vibrating outside and above the third dimensional realm. Your subconscious, your superconscious mind is doing it. Your cells are doing it. That's how they replicate. But if they start replicating slower, that's a good sign for you to know you're fucking this wrong sex partner, you comment too much, and you have the wrong destructive third dimensional thoughts because in the third dimension things are destroyed because you're locking into third dimensional time that does not exist because time is not linear. So that is a sign that it's time to make a shift. If you want to be here longer and you want to raise your vibration and you want to manifest good things faster and you want to turn those thoughts around, because that's what I wanted to say about these old woe-out ass men or old woe-out ass women. You do not want no man with no old woe-out goddamn diabetes field, goddamn kidney dialysis field, medicated dick to shoot nothing off in you.
That's right.
With damn hopping on a stick, always complaining about what they ain't got. Always got some kind of issue, some kind of drama somewhere. They ass hurting, they head hurting, they teeth done goddamn fell out. You don't want no degenerated sperm shooting off in you because it has no life in it. Because whatever he shoot, wrinkle up and falling off and shit, that tells you that he is detaching from the spiritual essence, which is his life force that keeps him regenerating. Along with his diet, his drinking, his smoking, his thoughts, whatever he's doing, he is degenerating. And as a person lives and supposedly gets older, you're not supposed to get weaker and degenerate. Your cells are supposed to regenerate. But you can tell by what a person is thinking and what they're not thinking by the way they supposedly age. Because if they age, like, I don't care how rich they are injecting death into you with their ejaculation instead of injecting life into you. That's why you have to really be careful who you lay with, who you consort with your mouth, and who you let touch you, because sex and ejaculation, it takes a lot out of a man. That's why it's not good to be shooting off all the time. A man needs to replenish with his green drinks, with his diet, his exercise, his protein drinks, and watch his diet and his water content and the food he eats, especially if he's ejaculating a lot. But it's important to be careful about the type of woman you ejaculate with, because you're supposed to give energy to her vagina. She is a receptor, so she holds and receives, but then she's supposed to bounce that shit back. And you all are supposed to neutralize any dysfunction and disease that is going on inside of each other. You're supposed to help regenerate each other. And you're supposed to then replenish yourself as well as the other. So that's a good sign if your sex partner is wrong. And if you're thinking about sex wrong and you don't see it spiritually, and you don't see it as something that is above a third dimensional experience by the types of relationships and the mindsets of the people that you deal with. You can go ahead also.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's talk about these. These are 7 principles.
Okay.
And we'll do each one of them one at a time, and you can come back in any of the 7 that really you want to expound upon. But if folks at least become aware of these, you're not going to be able to master them all at once. But as you hear them, remember, subconscious, it remembers everything. It's going to file everything away. So the first one, and this is about being able to get in harmony. The first, of course, is the law of attraction. And that's another way to think of it is the power of thought. Because everything starts with the thought, then emotions follow thought, and then actions follow emotion. Okay? So in terms of sex, right, we got to think about it first, don't we?
Yes.
Yeah. And once we think about it and we vibrate, every thought has its own vibration, right? So we start vibrating. We want some sex. We start vibrating that energy out there. I want sex. Now, it don't mean that you're going to have necessarily the right sex be attracted to you, but you will give off a sexual vibe, right?
Yeah.
And it's so scientific with some folks that they deal with trying to do all these artificial things to attract sexual partners. In fact, the word, think about it, all the time they talk about, they use the word attraction, right? Mm-hmm. You wear these clothes and it will attract the right man. You wear this cologne or this perfume, it's going to attract. See, they're using that phrase all the time because they know that subconsciously we are hearing it and dealing with it as the law of attraction. Okay? The second is the law of correspondence. And I want to be very clear, also we can call it the law of complementarianism, which a lot of times we'll use these two words as the same, but they're two different words. Complement. There's complement, which is the type of when you say something nice about a person, okay? Mm-hmm. But there's compliment, which means being in sync with each other, okay? We want to be in sync with each other, and the way we do that is by observing the law of correspondence, the law of complementary. And just what you were saying a little bit earlier, every man that comes to you ain't the right man. Every woman that comes to you is not the right woman. And so we have to understand that, understand that how to determine whether that person compliments us or not. Not that they say complimentary things about you. See, that's flattery and all that. See, we got to know the difference. Just because he say, "Ooh, baby, they got some big old pretty legs," that don't mean that they're complimentary for you, right? So that's the law. That's the second law, the law of correspondence. The third is the law of vibration. Yeah, and that's basically just real simple, the frequency. And we actually know how to deal with this. You know how we know it? Huh. It's like when we're walking down the street, and everybody on this that's listening to this, I know you had at least one time in your life when you were walking somewhere. It might have been at night. Usually that's the one we remember the most. And all of a sudden, you're by yourself, or you might be with somebody else, but something just gives you this idea that something is wrong, and literally the hair stand up on the back of your neck, right? Your palms will actually sweat. That's part of that stress that's supposed to happen because your body immediately prepares for either fight or flight, okay? That's vibrations. We're picking up the vibration of something dangerous, something that causes us to go into that mode. Well, we do this about men and women. You know, if it's like it's the worst place in the world. The worst place in the world to meet somebody for sex is in a nightclub. You know why? Because you got all these things operating. They put on the right clothes. They put on, so that attracts the eye because they'll wear whatever clothes makes what they consider their best features stand out. If it's their legs, they'll make sure they got plenty of legs. If it's their ass, they'll make sure they wear something that accentuates their ass. If it's their breasts, whatever, right? Now, they also will wear makeup, so we can't really tell what their face really is like. What happens in a nightclub? You got the lighting, so we can't really see. You throw some perfume and cologne on there, and the nose gets messed up. The nose, the olfactory, is actually manipulated by the smell. And then you got perfumes and colognes, what they call them, pheromones, right? You put an animal ingredients on your body to bring out the animal in somebody else. That's why folks wake up the next morning and say, how the hell did I come home with him or her? Because they did not pay attention to the vibrations.